Hey, welcome to A Moment to Move, and we're going to go through this kind of full body workout here. There's going to be a little different variations, but I will guide you through it to the best of my ability. Remember to connect your movements to breath, and I hope you have a great time. So we're going to come into tabletop and we're going to warm up the wrists first. So start with your hands facing forward, gently grip the mat, and we're just going to come forward and back, nice and simple. So push into the hands, index finger and the thumb is your main point of focus here. Sway from left to right. Just breathe into it. All sensations. Have the fingertips facing either side of the mat, and we're just again going to come from left to right, swaying into them wrists, just opening them up to the best of your ability. Again, fingertips into the mat, just a gentle little grip. Make some circles. Come right, come left, back and forth, stretching out the bottom of your feet at the same time. Face the fingertips to face the knees, and sit back, and again stretching out the tops of your feet at the same time. Lift your fingers up, your heels of your hand up, and gently pedal. Come back onto your toes, give the wrists a little bit of a shake. Grabbing each wrist, circling left to right, interlacing the hands, and rolling the hands out. Place the hands back onto the mat. Try and stack the knees under the hips, shoulders over the hands, push into the ground, so you want a gentle protraction of the shoulder blades. And we're going to begin by lifting up the knees. You only want to come about 2 centimeters off the ground. Decompress the shoulder blades so they're not up by your ears, they're just slightly down the back. Again, slight protraction, and tuck the navel in towards the spine to engage the core. I'm going to stay here in this nice hovering tabletop. Again, pushing into the index finger and the thumb, gently squeezing the mat, and then spin the eyes and the elbows to face forward to the best of your ability. And we're going to do some gentle mountain climbers. So we're going to bring the right knee to the right wrist, and you're going to keep that left knee just hovering above the ground. Step back, left to left, step back. So as you come to the wrist, just repeat this out as if you're walking to your wrists. And as you're doing this, make sure that the opposite, the leg that's staying back, doesn't come up as you're taking that knee to the wrist. I'm going to try to keep it 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters away. Go for 2, 1. Come back to hovering tabletop, decompress the shoulders, and we're simply going to push the hips up and back, coming into a downward facing dog. Grip between the mat, grip your fingertips into the mat, push your ground away from you, and begin to bend the knees. I like to have a slight bend in my knees for room in the lower back, and protract the shoulder blades so the eyes of the elbows are starting to come forward to the best of your ability. Pedal into the hamstrings. So we're going to do some downward dog push-ups. So the further away your feet are, the easier it is. So if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can walk your feet in slightly. You're going to gaze between your fingers, and we're going to bring the body up, over, nose touch the ground, push the ground away from you. Try to bring the elbows in, so you don't want the elbows splaying backwards, splaying out, sorry, and just keep doing your down dog push-ups. There's 3, 4, 5. As you inhale, you come forward. Exhale, push the ground away from you. Stick your hips up to the sky. 6, 7. Focus on that breath. 8. I know it's challenging, but that's the point. 10. Back to downward facing dog. We're going to roll forward the spine so the shoulders are stacked over the wrists, protracting the shoulder blades. And we're going to simply walk the elbows down to the ground. Spin your right hand in to a 45-degree angle, coming onto the outside edge of your right foot for forearm side plank on the right. And we're going to do some crunches. So stick the hips up to the sky. You can have your hand on your hip, over your head, or just up towards the air. Push the ground away from you with your elbow and your feet. Lift the left leg off. Bring it into the chest and push it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Simply roll back into forearm plank and switch over to the other side. Try to keep the hips forward, so you don't want the bum sticking out. You want the hips coming forward, slight engagement of the glutes. Stick the right arm up to the sky. Left arm into 45 degrees. Pushing into that left elbow. Raise the right leg and crunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep an eye on the breath. 6, 7, 8. Back to that forearm plank. Hold for a brief minute. Push the ground away from you, engage the core, squeeze the glutes, make sure the legs are toned. Set the hands up, gently grip into the ground and push up at the same time. Extended plank, and we're now just going to lower all the way down to the ground. We're going to do something called swimmers here to help with the back. So you want to engage the glutes. Again, navel to spine, so there should be a little gap here between your belly and the ground. And we're going to pull the arms onto the back. Spin the hands so the palms are facing towards your bum. Squeeze the glutes. And we're just going to bring the arms up overhead, clap, and bring back. 1, 2, you can rest your head on the ground. 3, I've got mine off so you can hear me more clearly. 4, bring the shoulder blades together. 5, 6, push the hips into the ground. 7, 8, 2 more. 9, 10. Place the hands into the ground, gently sway the hips from side to side. We're going to come up into low plank, so tuck the hands under the shoulders, squeeze the elbows into the side body, and we're going to come up so the shoulders and the elbows are around the same height for low plank. Hold, again, engage the core, squeeze the glutes. And we're going to do some elbow touches. So bring the right knee to right elbow, step back. Left to right, left to left. Not here for long. Keep breathing. Last one on each side. Push up, full plank. Stick the hips up and back to the sky. And we're going to switch that right leg up as high as you can on your inhale. As you exhale, bring that knee to nose, rotate and step forward, coming up into a crescent lunge. Squeeze the thighs together to create nice stability. Push down into the ground with your back leg and your front leg. Nice stability. Reach the arms up, overhead. Now you want to be as stable as possible, so when you start feeling stable, we are going to straighten both legs at the same time. Keep squeezing and lower back down. 2, Knee briefly touches the ground. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, keep squeezing the thighs together, it definitely helps. 8, come back to the crescent lunge, place your hands to the ground, simply step your right leg back into your down dog, straight into the second side, left leg up to the sky, look between the hands, and place your left foot there. Set up a nice strong foundation in this crescent lunge by pushing the heel of the left foot in and the toes of the back foot in to the mat, and squeeze the thighs together to create that stability. Bring the torso slightly back so you're stacked over the hips. Reach your arms up to the sky and take a few breaths in crescent lunge. And again, when you feel ready, we're going to straighten both legs. 1, lower it down just above the mat. 2, keep a nice focus on your breath, and at one point in the floor in front of you to create nice stability in the body. Sometimes balance can be challenging, and talking and keeping count can also be a bit of a challenge. I think that's 6, 7, 8. Place the hands down. I'm going to step my right foot forward, but you can keep your left leg as it is. And we're going to pivot to face the top of the mat, or to the side of the mat, sorry. And we're going to sink the hips down. Your legs are going to come out, but your heels should be in and your toes should be pointing out. And we're going to sink the hips into a nice deep goddess pose. So you can have your hands on top of your knees, pushing in, broadening between the shoulders. So a nice proud chest, and we're going to sink the hips lower, and we're just going to hold this nice horse stance. So you want to have your knees tracking the same way as your toes. Focus on your breathing. You can have your arms up nice and wide, rotate to the left, rotate to the right. Whatever you need to do to stay focused. I'm simply going to stare at you and smile and breathe. Sink a little bit lower. Keep pushing the knees out so they're tracking over the toes. Just breathe. 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Step to the top of the mat. And then lower down into a nice deep squat. We're not going to be here for long. In fact, not long at all. You can place your hands down to the ground, gently sit down and roll onto your back. Now bring your knees up so they're stacked just above your hips. Legs are parallel with the mat. Stick your arms up to the sky. You want to push that lower back into the ground. A gentle anterior posterior tilt of the pelvis. And breathe. It's called dead bug, this one. So we're going to push the left leg forward down to the ground, right arm up overhead, and we're going to swap, bring it back up to neutral, keeping that lower back into the ground. 2, and just keep moving. We are working the core here, and we're also helping the back in general through the fascia lines. Kind of like bird dogs, but on the back, it's just a little bit more core work here. So really bring that navel to spine. Exhale as you lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Just a few more. Keep that lower back being pushed into the ground. Last two. Last one. Back to normal. Bring the knees into your chest. And begin to roll up, massaging the spine. Come up to seated. I'm going to spin to face you, but come as you choose. Bring your left leg inside onto the right thigh. Sit up nice and straight. Stick the right leg out. Flex the toes towards you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turn the body and fold over that right leg. It's a nice side body stretch and a nice hamstring stretch at the same time. If you can, place your left hand on the outside of your right foot, flex the toes and grab. Push the left knee down with your inner strength. You can really feel a nice side body stretch on the left hand side, from the left butt cheek all the way up to the outer side of the left elbow. Take a nice inhale, exhale it out. Gently release. Come back to neutral and simply swap sides. Left leg out, right leg in, flex the foot. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, pivot the body, fold over the left leg, flex the toes, and again, if you want to go a little bit deeper, grab the outside of your right foot with your left foot with your right hand, and pull yourself into the pose, bringing your right leg down to the ground, right knee. You gaze under the armpit, choose. The main thing is we're just focusing on the breath, trying to recenter ourselves after some physical exertion. Inhale, come back to neutral. Sit however you feel comfortable. Just take a couple of seconds to close the eyes. Inhale, exhale it out. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, please recommend to your friends, watch again, practice. All you ever need is a moment, and I'm glad you spent this time with me. Thank you very much.